Big game here on Sunday. Detroit Lions versus Minnesota Vikings. NFC North showdown. A lot of implications for both teams. And in this video, we're breaking it all down. We're going to go ahead and look at offense, defense, special teams, all of them together to see who wins. We're going to do analysis, breakdown, and prediction for you folks today. But before we get into today's video, if you're a fan of watching meaningful games in December, go ahead and subscribe to my channel because we talk all things Detroit Lions news and rumors. And sometimes being a Lions fan, you actually got something to watch for when it's cold out. Also, take that like button with you and let that bad boy get a victory. Let's get into today's Lions versus Vikings. And get into this game here. Interesting line. Love seeing it, but the Detroit Lions are favored right now to win this game at -1. And yes, the underdog is the 10-2 Minnesota Vikings. The total over-under is 54, a high number for sure. Let's go ahead and continue to look on with this bad boy. You look at the Detroit Lions right now. Won 4 of their last 5. They're 5-7. Scoring offense, 26.3. That's 6th in the NFL. So they love to score here. Scoring defense is 27 points allowed, 32nd in the NFL. Let's do a caveat, though. Let's be honest. The Lions defense is played mid to near 20s defensively last 5 weeks. We go to the Minnesota Vikings here. Again, 10-2 record. Scoring offense, 24.1. 11th in the NFL. Scoring defense for them, 23.3, 20th in the NFL. So a little bit shocking here when you look at their stats and say they're 10-2, but we'll talk about the reason why going forward. But if you are a betting person, and I'm sure a lot of you are, go to chessboards.com/lionsbet, BetUS, and bet on the Detroit Lions. I think they'll get a little bit more than just 1 point. And I think 54, take the over on that bad boy. Two teams that are going to be fighting it out. Home for the Lions on a big game. A lot of points to be scored. Go ahead, chessboards.com/linesbet. Let me know in the comment section, who wins this game? Do you got the Detroit Lions winning? Put an L. Do you got the Minnesota Vikings winning this game? Put a V in the comment section. That's going to be the pinned comment for this video. Let's look at some matchups here. You got the Lions offense. Right now, they're really good points per game, 26.3, that's 6. Points allowed for the Vikings is 23.3. I have the Lions going over on that score. Total yards per game, Lions 7th with 369.1 yards allowed per game. 31st, not good at 398.7 for the Vikings. I have the Lions going over on theirs, but just a little bit under overall for yards. Passing yards per game, the Detroit Lions are 242.1. That's 8th in the NFL. Passing yards per game is 283.6. 32nd in the NFL for the Vikings defense. There you go. Detroit Lions, I have them getting over in passing in this game. Rushing yards per game, Lions are 127. That's 10th in the NFL. Rushing yards per game, shockingly, is a little bit worse here for the Vikings. Is 115.1, 16th in the NFL. The biggest difference for this team and why the Minnesota Vikings are winning and why the Lions are winning as of late is the turnover differential. Minnesota Vikings +8. That's 3rd in the NFL. Great job for them. And the Lions are +1, 15th in the NFL as they are as of late. Let's look at some important players and sack leaders for the Minnesota Vikings. We're going to start here with Za'Darius Smith here. He's obviously a big name. We're very familiar with who he is. Why? Because he is a baller, and right now he's doing that for Minnesota at 9.5 sacks. But he's not the only one making plays for them. You got Danielle Hunter, who's doing 7 sacks. DJ Wonnum, 3.5 sacks. Patrick Jones, 3 sacks. And Jordan Hicks with 3 sacks. So they are getting it done on defense. Let's go ahead and look at Lions defense versus the Vikings offense here. Lions defense is booty cheeks on all scores, but again, this is a caveat. The Lions playing much better in the last 5 weeks, but we're going with what we got. Points allowed per game, 27. points per game. That's 32nd in the NFL. And guess what? The Vikings can put up points. They're 24.1, 11th. I have them going over on that. Yards allowed per game. Lions are 402, 32nd in the NFL. Total yards per game, 335.8. Over for the Minnesota Vikings. They will get over their average and probably match around the Detroit Lions. Passing yards per game, 252.5, 27th in the NFL. Passing yards per game, they're really good. Obviously, Justin Jefferson, who is 242.1. That's 10th in the NFL. I'll take the over on that. Lions rush defense is getting better, but it's still 28th in the NFL, 149.7. And our rushing yards per game, shockingly, is not that great right now for the Minnesota Vikings at 101.8. That's 25th in the NFL. A little interesting there that I did not really expect that. Let's continue on here and look at the reasons why their pass game is doing well. Kirk Cousins is this guy right now. He's having a really good season at 2,933 yards, 18 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. The QBR of 51.4. Hey, he's solid. He's distributing the football to his playmakers. He's got a lot of them. Add Thielen. Obviously, we talked about Justin Jefferson. TJ Hutchinson in there. So he's getting it done for their football team. Another pinned comment. This is what it is. Who do you got in this game? Do you got the Detroit Lions winning? Put DET in the comment section. Do you got the Vikings winning? Put MIN. Let me know who you guys got winning the game. Vikings fans and Lions fans. Today's video is sponsored by Rocket Money. Go to rocketmoney.com/LionsTalk and download the app right now to save you some money. What does it do? It reduces and tracks the unnecessary apps that you have at your house. We're talking about Hulu, we're talking about Netflix, we're talking about HBO, all these subscriptions and more. It tracks them and it will cancel them for you. I have kids, and guess what? My teenager loves to download HBO app. And guess what? She does the free week, and then I find out a couple months later I've been being charged. So Rocket Money canceled that bad boy, and I didn't have to jump through all the hoops that you generally would have to do by going to HBO.com or Netflix.com or calling these people up. You don't have to do all these unnecessary, crazy, ridiculous moves. Rocket Money does it for you, folks. The app shows all of your subscriptions in one place and then cancels for you for whatever you don't want. Rocket Money can even find subscriptions you didn't know you were paying for, like me. You may even find that you've been double charged for a subscription, and that's uncalled for. We can't have that happen. So to cancel subscription, all you have to do is press cancel, and Rocket Money takes care of it for you. Get rid of the useless subscriptions with Rocket Money now. Go to rocketmoney.com/LionsTalk. Seriously, you can even save hundreds per year. That's rocketmoney.com/LionsTalk. And like I say before, I can tell you, my kids drive me nuts. They do this to me all the time, and now I can track it. Now they can't screw me over with some money. So they hooked me up, saving me some money, and that's the most important thing. So if you want to support this channel, support the sponsor of this channel. That's rocketmoney.com. Lions Talk. Get it right now. The link is in the comment section of this video and the description for you. Let's look at the results for the Vikings, and it's really good, man. They got a lot of wins on here. Week 1, beating Green Bay, who's a bad football team. Week 2, losing to Philadelphia, who we lost to, but it was close. Philadelphia is a really good team, though. Obviously, they beat us. We had the game in the grasp, and we let it go. It was a close game like it always is. Week 4, they defeated the New Orleans Saints, who is a bad team, 28-25. They beat the Chicago Bears in Week 5, 29-22. Let's continue on here. Week 6 versus Miami. This is a notable win because Miami is pretty good, but again, they were Miami had injury quarterback, but still a good team. 24-16. They defeated the Arizona Cardinals 34-26, who's not that great. And then we continue on Week 9, defeated the Washington Commanders, who have been playing good as of late. Then they beat the Buffalo Bills, a Super Bowl perennial team, 33-30 in a crazy ending to the game. Then they took a massive dump and lost to the Dallas Cowboys 40-3. But let's be honest here, folks. Every team gets one of those throughout the year. Vikings continue on, defeating the Patriots 33-26, who we lost to, and they just defeated the New York Giants 27-22. They are a good football team. What is important about understanding a game is injuries, and both teams got some injuries here. First, we'll start the Minnesota Vikings. Christian Darrisaw injured, didn't play in this last game. He's injured right now. It will be a big loss if he can't play. He is a staple for their offensive line. Really good player. Then they got a backup tight end, Ben, it doesn't matter there, and Ross Blacklock as well. So no significant injuries. They're a pretty healthy team. Thielen a little nicked up as well. Let's go ahead and talk about the Detroit Lions injuries. Nothing going on here. Evan Brown, he didn't play last game, and Romeo Okwara did not play as well. Lions are really healthy. Pretty much everybody is good to go in this game. What should the Detroit Lions fans watch for in this game? How should the Lions look to get a victory here? Well, my first thing here is when I looked at it, looking at the run defense of the Minnesota Vikings, you got to run the football, and it helps you control the clock. Now, I'm not saying be a run-first team in this game, but don't get away from the run. I think it's really important to have DeAndre Swift in this game. Same with Jamal Williams. Getting their carries for sure. Don't get away from the run, even if they're ahead of us. Just keep going. Keep going. That's one of those things. And I think the biggest thing here is obviously limiting turnovers. The Minnesota Vikings is a team that takes advantage of turnovers. That's why they're winning games. That's why they're 10-2. That's why they're going to the playoffs, and that's why they're going to win the NFC North, is they take advantage of those turnovers as well. So the Lions done a pretty good job as of late. Just keep not turning the ball over. Just do it. Jamal Williams, more of you. Make sure you don't fumble the football, and Jared Goff play sound football like you have the last couple of weeks. You do that, Lions got a shot. We need to go for touchdowns, obviously. In the last time we played, we didn't do that. In this game, go for touchdowns. Minnesota Vikings are a team that can strike quick, and say we have the lead and they have the ball to end the game, I'm pretty confident that Kirk Cousins in this offense can run down and score a touchdown and win the game, or get a field goal to win it at the end of the game. So the Detroit Lions got to score touchdowns. Keep being aggressive. Really important that they do that. Also here, stop Justin Jefferson. We did a really good job last matchup. Jeffrey Okudah needs to do the same thing here. Justin Jefferson is their star on offense. They got other stars as well, but he's the main guy. He's all-pro wide receiver, one of the best wide receivers in all of football. If you can slow him down, the Lions got a chance to win this game. That's 100% factual. Yes, they got TJ Hutchinson. Yes, they got Adam Thielen. Great, but like the game plan we did the first time we played them, we slowed him down, and we did have a chance to win the football game. So do the best we can to hold him down. Lastly, and surely not least, we need to take some deep shots in this game. We need to pass the football, but take deep shots. I think this is important. Go for quick strikes as well as sustain. You know, we need to open up the defense for the Minnesota Vikings so we can take our shots with Amon-Ra St. and Reynolds and everybody else. By doing that, and to help run the game, by doing that is taking those deep shots. So take a deep shot here and there with DJ Chark and Jameson Williams. Do that, it opens everything else up. We've seen what happened Lions versus Jacksonville. When everything's opened up, folks, you can win the football game, and that is #facts. For my prediction for this game, I got the Detroit Lions winning this game in an upset, 32-28. The Detroit Lions are playing really sound football right now. They're not doing a whole lot regarding getting flags. They are taking advantage of turnovers. They're scoring on offense, and they're doing well on defense. I think the Detroit Lions get the revenge game here, win the game, and the Lions go to 6-7 for the year. You can go ahead and follow me on all these social media sites. Instagram, that's Real Micro Mike. Mike Kimber on Twitter. Mike Kimber on Facebook. And at Micro Mike on Lions Nation Unite. Check them all out, folks. Again, Thursday, One Pride Podcast. That's tomorrow. Get ready for that. It'll be a fun show. Take your questions and have a good time. With that said, folks, adios.